The bacon costume is back, and today we're talking Halloween 6, The Return of Michael Myers. Find out next if it's worth the rewatch or just a plain old skip this season.
The Boogeyman.
After rewatching this about a handful of times now, Halloween 6 really has some fresh ideas here. And with director Joe Chappelle, he directed movies like The Skulls 2. Later on, he went to direct a movie called Phantoms, which is pretty underrated if you ask me. This picks up 6 years after Halloween 5. One thing I recognized about Halloween 6 is that it brings fresh ideas to the table. One being this thorn, this curse that was inflicted by Michael when he was young. So it really dives into the lore. So I talked about Tommy Doyle being back in Haddonfield, living next door to the Myers house of all places. I like that the film dives a little bit into his personal life. He's been obsessed with Michael. He's got newspaper clippings around his room. He's this creepy, hermit young man who has had a traumatic incident happen to him when he was younger. Makes me think back to, Michael's childhood a little bit. Smith's Grove Sanitarium, which ends up being our main setting in the third act. Now, granted, over the years, there's been a lot of negative talk about Michael Myers in the previous films and the choices of masks the movies decide to use. I think this is the closest we get to John Carpenter's classic. The whole mask doesn't bother me here. I think of numerous examples of where the mask is just atrocious. And the movie isn't too long. It's an hour and 25 minutes. That's which is the perfect runtime for a typical 90s slasher flick. When it comes to Halloween 6, it's the dialogue. It's like everyone has 10 lines or less in this movie, and there's not really conversations that make you think. Throughout the film, a dark tone surrounding this movie, and that's just perfect for a franchise like this. The movie really sets up the mystery, not knowing when Michael will strike next. I'm glad that a script like this was taken into consideration and done to the best it could, from a director that's not so known anymore. Look back at 4 and 5 with the whole Jamie Lloyd thing, played by Danielle Harris. I think it was time for a new direction, only just a tad bit. Overall, I like this how this movie turned out. So let's break this down in the comments. What are your guys' thoughts on Halloween 6? Have a favorite movie in the franchise so far? Stay tuned, guys. Peace.